Okay, so let's see. I'm going to attack and I get +4 to my bonus, and that is a 20. How cool is that? Rolled it perfectly. Dr. Bernheide here, and going to teach you a quick little lesson about probability and even odds with that. And I'm going to do it by telling a little story. And every so often in the story, I'm going to stop and pause and ask you to think about some of the things that might come up. By the way, this is my little gaming room, dungeon room. I've got all sorts of good stuff in here. There's some of my games, some of my miniatures that I have there. I got my dungeon wall back here. This is where I paint my miniatures. I'm a big Civil War fan. And then all of those guys on those two shelves are miniatures as well. So just thought I'd show you a little bit about my collection and how big I'm into gaming and that. So here's what I want to do with this little activity. I've got here all sorts of dice. And I want to take you through some suggestions here. And so you and I are going to play a quick little mental game here. And if you want to actually try it with actual dice, I'll include a dice roller onto the page. But I want you to think about this in terms of a situation. Okay? So let's pretend that you and I are trapped in a room. And the person that threw us in there said, you two have got to play dice rolling game to get out. First to 100 points wins. They get to go out of the room. You're stuck here. Okay? And so, me being the older guy, I go, all right, can I decide the games? And he goes, yes. The person that locked us in here said yes. So, here is my first situation for you. I've got here a four-sided die, and it has numbers 4, 3, 2, and 1 on it. And I've got here, let's use this one here, a six-sided die. And I take the six-sided die and I look at you and I say, okay, you get this one, I get this one. Whoever rolls highest wins and gets 5 points each time. Nobody gets any points if you tie. Would you want to play this game or not? Think about it for a second and we'll go from there. Ooh. Okay, so you thought about it a little bit. I get the six-sided die, you get the four-sided die. Would you have done it? If you think about it, it would not work out well for you. Ties, no one scores a point. You would only win 1 out of every 6 times. That's not a good advantage for you. Okay? Or excuse me, 1 out of every 4 times, I should say. Because I made a little chart here to show you the math. Let me bring it up here right now. So I looked at this chart real quick, or I made this chart real quick. The green shows you the times I would win. The yellow, the times you would win, and the purple are the times we would tie. I'd win over half the time, especially if I rolled a 5 or 6, because there's no way you could beat it. A 4, I only lose, or I don't win once of the time, one of the times when I roll a 4. Matter of fact, I'm doing pretty good if I'm rolling a 3 or better. So if you said no, you wouldn't play that, good job. You made the right choice. But remember, Dr. B always has a trick up his sleeve. You point out to me and say, hey, that game's not fair. Come on, man. Well, alright. What if I give you, and I pull out 2 D4s, numbered 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I pull out a D8. And this time I say, whoever rolls the lowest gets to 5 points each time we roll. What would you rather have? 2d4s or 1d8? Think about it for a second. Oh. 2d4s or 1d8? Well, I gave away the answer already because I said I always have a trick up my sleeve, right? What's the lowest you could roll on 2d4s? Let's say they both came up 1. Trust me, they both say 1. The best you could do is a 2. On my 1d8, I could roll a 1. I'd win automatically on that. Again, when you're getting to die rolling, odds and probability are a big part of it. How likely is something to come up? If I would have changed the rules and said, what if whoever rolls a 1 first wins? You'd be going, wait a minute, I got to add these together. I couldn't roll a 1. Same thing, to get an 8, you got to roll both 4s. This one, we'd roll an 8 about the same percentage of the time. 1 and 8, 1 and 8. But whoever rolls the lowest, this guy has the advantage. So you caught me on that. So I get a little bit more creative here. And I say, okay, how about this? I give you 2 6-sided die. And I pick up a special, where you at, special? 12-sided die. And I say, whoever rolls a 12 first wins 25 points. You get the 2d6, I get the 12-sided die. Who's most likely to hit a 12 first? I know who did. What'd you decide? Who's going to win? I've given you 2d6. I've given myself a 12-sided die. And I say, whoever rolls a 12 first. Well, 12 sides, and there is 1 through 12 on this. There's the 12. I have a 1 in 12 chance of rolling a 12. 2. Guess I'll roll again. But I give you 2 6-siders. What are the odds that you'll roll a 12? Well, to get 1 6, you're going to have a 1 in 6 chance. But to get 12, you've got to roll 2 6s. Might help if I put the 6 up, huh? 2 6s, 1 in 6 and 1 in 6, is a 1 in 36 chance that you'll roll a 12. You rolled a 6 there. So we both do it again. Over the long haul, I'm going to roll my 12 3 times as often as you'll roll a 12. Advantage me. Now, true, you might hit a 12 first. By the way, I hit a 12 there. But over the long haul, unless there's something funky about the dice, I'll have the advantage and I'll score points easier. Well, let's try this one. I'm frustrated. You've caught me every single time I've tried cheating. So I say, okay, we'll do this one. Whoever can roll a 10 first wins. And I give you 2 10-sided dice. Let's see, there's one, there's the other. Whoever can roll a 10 first, and I've got a D20, Whoever rolls a 10 first, here's your two-sided or 10-sided dice. Here's mine. Whoever rolls a 10 first scores 10 points. Who's got the advantage now? Think about that for a second. Pause the video if you need to, and I'll be back with you in a second to figure it out. Oh. You have two 10-sided die. I have one 20-sided die. I got frustrated and made a deal with you. Whoever rolls a 10 first scores 10 points. Remember, we're locked in this room till someone scores 100. Would you like this bet or not? Well, let's think about it this way. 20 sides to this die. By the way, this is my lucky die. And I'm trying to roll a 10. That's a 1 in 20 chance that I'll hit the right number. Rolled a 9. It was close. But you have two 10-sided dice. There's several combinations that you can get a 10 with. For instance, 9 plus 1, that equals 10. 8 plus 2, 7 plus 3, 6 plus 4, 5 plus 5. You got all sorts of ways you might be able to do that. So that's to your advantage. Here's my boy Sam. So what would you rather want to have? You can get 10 much easier on two 10-sided die than one 20-sider. Hopefully you pick the right one. And so those are the things to think about, and those are things to consider when thinking about odds. Always look at probability, what's likely to come up, and who has the better advantage. You want to roll dice with me? Yeah? All right. I bet you that I can roll a 10 on two 10-sided dice before you can roll a 10 on a D20. Want to bet? If I win, you've got to clean up my office here. If you win, you got to clean up your bedroom. Sound good? Okay. Well, roll the dice. See what you get. He got a 10. And I got a 12. We'll talk to you a bit here at Zoom. Bye.